So Animation Runner Kuromi 1 and 2, that came out in 2001 and 2004 respectively. This show was initially put out by Central Park Media. It is now out of print. And we watched the dub. So it is about a girl who finds herself with the job of animation producer at a small anime company, and it is about her and all of the wacky personalities that work there, along with just how exhausting working in animation can be. It is all about them trying to meet deadlines.
I guess you avoided making this comparison intentionally, but it is Shirobako in OVA form, essentially.
It is very difficult not to compare this to Shirobako. First of all, because they both are about making anime, but on top of that, they're both about these girls who are animation managers, and they both wear overalls. So yeah, it's very difficult not to compare the two. Which I think would be really interesting to have watched this before Shirobako came out, because before Shirobako, this was really the only thing that was about animation as the main focus. There's little things here and there. I know a lot of people think about there's a small part of
this one episode of Golden Boy.
Yeah, there's that one episode of Golden Boy. There's an episode of Paranoia Agent where they briefly talk about how animation is made. So yeah, there's things where there's little snippets, but
yeah, there are just a lot of this type of concept, except applied to manga instead. You've got your Bakuman, you've got
I think of Nozaki-kun most recently.
Yeah, Nozaki-kun. And
this and Shirobako are really the only things that are really about animation. And another parallel between the two is that they both kind of portray the animation industry as being split evenly among gender. We see
I mean, in both of them, I believe female is the dominant cast.
Yeah, I know in Shirobako, it's definitely the dominant cast, but I don't know if we see, a female director in Shirobako, but,
yeah.
In this one, it was split, perfect evenly, and unfortunately, in real life, there are not that many women working in, the anime industry. It's way more skewed towards male, so...
And it's not quite so happy as they portray it.
I mean, they don't really portray it happy in
this one, yeah.
Animation Runner. It's much more, it's not a dark comedy, but the whole thing is laughing at just how miserable everybody is and how impossible the situations they're in are.
So one other similarity where it focused more on a particular debate within animation. This one was quality versus quantity, or efficiency. Yeah. And Shirobako, I felt more focused on the ongoing battle between CG and hand animation. The first episode, or half, was very much this is the animation industry, this the storyboarding room, this was the in-between room, it's overseas now.
I loved how much they emphasized the in-betweens being done overseas, and definitely the first OVA felt like it was just kind of introducing just the overall idea of you have to run between these people's homes and get all the cuts and make sure they're on time. And obviously, because Shirobako is a whole series, it goes a lot more in depth, and it handles things like CG. Something else that's interesting is that Animation Runner takes place during VHS times. It's very clear that it's not a situation where, oh, it's fine if it goes to air, we'll just fix it for the Blu-ray.
Yeah, once you ship it, it's done.
It's done. So a lot of people say if you want to learn about how anime is made, then you should watch Shirobako, not... even if you're not interested in the story or the characters, you should watch it for, the educational purposes. But, like you said earlier, Shirobako, is very, happy. And I think that Animation Runner does a better job of showing how it's just stressful.
The different types of animators was extremely entertaining, and I guess also showing how each one had their own, this is how you make them work.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny how it's her job was just dealing with people and motivating this very specific team. But another thing that I thought was really interesting was how frequently the art style would change.
Yes, yeah. Particularly in the second episode.
The second episode is about them having to make these 3 very different shows with very different art styles. And I thought that it was just more about how you have to draw all these different art styles at once and then incorporating that idea into the actual show.
Okay, that makes sense.
I also thought that it was maybe a little bit of a nod to just how drastic art style can change just in anime in general, where in really serious shots they would give them a lot of shading and make them a little bit more realistic, and then in shots where she's trying to puppy dog eyes and she just gets these super ultra moe eyes.
Yeah, and her face rounds out.
Yeah, I thought it was just more of a joke about animation, anime styles in general. It was really funny and just really entertaining.
Yeah. I would definitively recommend it to definitely anyone who enjoyed Shirobako for its educational elements, and probably even beyond that to anyone that enjoys
comedy. Both I loved how expressive a lot of the gags were, just how extreme the expressions were, and the changing art styles to fit whatever they were trying to do. I really liked how it was just very visually comical. A story about making anime in the form of an anime, you can't not make references, because I know Shirobako had tons of references in it.
Catman was.
Was Catman a reference? What was that a reference to?
I don't know. What can we change one letter of that with and turn it into a reference? Did you see his costume?
No, what?
It was Batman.
Oh, it was Batman?
It was Batman.
I don't know.
Batman.
I don't know anything about
it's superheroes. Literally one...
And they were complaining about it being Western.
Yes.
I didn't know.
Catman was super obvious.
So yeah, and you don't... it's not a 2-parter. It's just that, the second episode is obviously very much a bonus. You can watch the first one, and if you don't want to watch the second one, then you don't have to. But the second one is also very funny and very good. So yeah, I would definitely recommend both. It's definitely worth checking out.